All right. So we have our next guest, another guest that I'm super excited to have on our creativity series. Her name is Tricia. Welcome, Tricia. To have you. We have had our own conversations about creativity and what we want to do with our creative lives, many, many times before. And in those conversations that we've had, I've realized so much, learned so much, thought about things in such different ways. And so I thought that you'd be a fantastic guest to join the creativity series. So thank you for, wanting to be a part of this. And we're going to get right into it. Anything around that. What does that mean to you?
The freedom to express in ways that words can't, like emotionally. There are certain chords that I hear or just melodies that I hear that I will not be able to describe the emotion with words, but I feel it, and that's what art does. And it doesn't even have to be music. It could just be like an art piece, like a painting that I look at and I'm like, wow, all those colors, there's so many, they make me feel all of these different things. And it's so great. Like, it makes me feel hopeful or something more than hopeful. Like, it's crazy, and I can't even put them into words. But that is how powerful I think creativity is. And when you're able to express that is, I think that's the most freeing thing, to be able to express your creativity in whichever way you want.
Love that. I love that. You said it's like expressing yourself in ways that words cannot. That is such a powerful sentence right there. That was like the first sentence that you said, and it was gold. So
thank you.
Yeah, so you kind of mentioned when you hear chords. So, as one who is listening to you for the first time, who does not know you, can you explain to us how you individually express your creativity?
I have picked up the guitar, right? So I am learning to play that. And I have found that has been like a new way for me to express my creativity, like musically and stuff, because I find that there are just some things that the piano can't do and it can't grasp that the guitar is able to do. I could play the exact same chord on the guitar and it will not sound the same as I want it to on the piano. So they're both different means of creativity by using, different instruments for me. I've also been drawing a lot and animating.
Animating in what way?
Like, I'll draw a frame, and then I'll draw another frame, and then, I'll play it, and it'll make something, create the illusion of movement in some way. So I like to do that stuff. I was always fascinated with that as a kid, and I wanted to try it out. I'm still trying it out.
I know that you mentioned it all started with piano. So you grew up playing piano. At what age did you start, and what did that journey look like from then to now?
I think I started at 5 or 6, somewhere around there. Because from a very young age, I like to learn things quickly, and I like to understand things as fast as possible. So when I was first learning music, when I was younger, I didn't have the theory yet, and it was really hard for me to read the sheet music and stuff like that. I didn't have the theory to back it up with. So, it was kind of hard, and the teacher would always be like, did you practice? And I would kind of look down shamefully, and, they know I didn't practice, obviously. And because I just had a hard time, and I didn't have, that discipline to be able to actually sit down and figure things out and, practice my sight reading and stuff like that. It was hard for me. And then I finally actually learned theory when I did private lessons. And that became so much easier for me to understand just music in general, even without the sight reading, honestly. It helped me to train my ear in hearing different things and how chords make sense and all of those relationships between notes and stuff like that. I still struggle with sight reading, but I have a much better understanding of, how it works now and how I'm supposed to read music. So, where I am now, I'm I can read music and, I'm able to understand. And I think I'm able to get almost what I want when I play the piano, what I envision in my head. that is, that my hands are capable of playing, I can play that. And I'm happy that I've reached that place.
So can you recall like maybe the first time or one of the first times that you realized that music and creative expression through the musical arts was a passion of yours?
So when I was younger, I had this Terry McCalman CD, and there were specific songs that I would listen to, and they would just bring up these emotions within me, and I would be really emotional about it. And if I wasn't like feeling good that day or something like that, for some reason when I listened to that song, it wouldn't necessarily make me feel better, but it would just like heighten the emotion that I already have, if that makes sense. And that like continued as I got older. So like around that time when I was young, I realized no one else seems to react to music emotionally the way I do.
Wow.
Am I weird or something? Like, is there something wrong with me? And then I just realized, no, I'm just sensitive to music in a different way. And I kind of like that because, I want to see, like, if there are other people out there that maybe feel the same way or react the same way into different music like as I do.
No, I love that. That's what sets you apart, right? And I think that's telling of the fact that it's a passion of yours. Some of us can listen to the same song and be like, okay, moving on. But you had a connection to it. And you said it was more than like the lyrics. It was more than just, the person who was singing. It was the chords and how the chords were used and intricately placed together. And that's what kind of made you feel the way that you felt. So yeah, I think it's definitely a unique thing and something that sets you apart, which is really cool. And I think when we step into that place of being okay with our individuality and uniqueness, it's a beautiful thing. Has your relationship with music changed from then to now, or do you still feel like you look to music in the same way?
I definitely look at it differently now, especially in the past several years. I would ask God, why am I always so sensitive to music? Like, everyone's just, listening to a song, they're bopping, and I'm just, like, in the corner, like, sulking for some reason. And I'm like, God, why is it that I'm, sensitive to music for some reason? And, like, I didn't understand it, honestly. And I'm still figuring that out, and I believe that, God is slowly revealing that to me. Mm-hmm. And I believe that partly it might be for the purpose of other people and not, just myself. Mm. But I mean, I'm still figuring that out and, asking questions and stuff like that. But yeah.
Love that. I think that's powerful, the fact that you're realizing in this season that your passion for music can potentially exist to better the lives of other people. I think that's what passion and purpose is delving into something that is so far beyond you and so much more about the community around you and how you can better it and be that salt and be that light. So I love that. And, as you're on that journey, I'm excited to see how that unfolds because it's going to be big. Okay, so moving on, we talked a little bit about the fact that you are still on your journey of creativity and discovering what exactly that looks like in terms of your purpose. But I'm still going to ask you this question. With what you know right now, how do you intend to use your creativity to impact the world?
I mean, this is from my perspective, but I want to be able to see how music is able to affect other people's emotions, like the way I'm affected by music and, my emotions. And, if I can help people in that way by, I guess, impacting their emotions, because emotions are powerful, obviously. Yeah. And music has a very great influence on our emotions. And I want to be able to, use that, especially in, the Christian community, and even outside the Christian community, honestly.
Sure, for sure.
But yeah, that's kind of a summary.
Love that. Absolutely love that. How would you say you use your creativity to glorify God, or how will you want to use your creativity to glorify God?
just like how I said, music and other forms of art is able to communicate words more powerfully, I guess, or they're able to communicate emotions and concepts without the need for words. I want to be able to, like, do that, actually. But, like, with, you know, God's character and who he is, like, you know, God is a loving God and he's a trustworthy God and, like, he's always there, like, that type of comforting thing. But because it's music, I believe that that'll be, I guess, stronger in a sense and more influential to the emotion, like, directly, because music can, you know, affect emotion. And I've seen, you know, even in worship, when, you know, the Holy Spirit is working and the atmosphere is just like filled with the Holy Spirit and the music is going and it's just everyone's, you know, just drenched in the Spirit, and it's a beautiful moment, and I want that. I want to see more of that, really.
Love it. So you want it to be something that's comforting to people. You want it to be something that just exudes his glory in the chords and in the melodies that you create.
Yeah.
Love that. What's one thing, anything that you want people to know, either about creativity in general or about your creativity? I know, like, a lot of creatives feel misunderstood a lot, and they feel like nobody really gets them or understands them. But if you were to say it in, like, a sentence or two, like, what is something that you would want people to know about creatives in general, or people to know about you as a creative?
I don't even know how to answer that. There's so many things I could say.
You could say all of them too. Whatever. You can diarrhea on us.
I mean, I don't know if this would make much sense, but I know that you, like, I think that you put this in one of your vlogs. But I guess for people who may not feel understood as a creator, you should remember that, you know, God is a creator and he understands. So, I mean, like, what more is there? It's just the fact.
Love that.
In reality, you should be leaning and drawing from him to enhance your creativity, because, like, he's the original creator of like, everything. So that's what I do. Like, I'll sit at the piano and I'll ask God, okay, can you teach me something? Or I know I've already played this chord, but, like, how will it sound this time when I play it? You know? Yeah.
Absolutely love that. So it's also just a matter of surrendering your creativity to the creator, right? I love that you said that you just sit at the piano and you don't even know what you're going to do or what you're going to create, but you just open yourself up to the creator to ask him what it is you're going to teach me today. And that's wonderful. And I think the most creative people too also are the ones who are open to learning, always learning. Like, yes, you can be so comfortable in your creativity, but sometimes people are too comfortable in it that they're not willing to learn anymore. They think that they're the master of their own creativity or whatever. But, like, when you're willing and open to newness and, you know, new inspiration, that can definitely, like, catapult your creative journey.
Yes, I agree. And I mean, honestly, I can say that if I ever stop learning, or if I think, oh yeah, I don't have anything more to learn, how can I really say that I'm being creative? Because I'm just regurgitating everything I already have learned. So
another thing that you just reminded me of when saying that is, a lot of times creatives, I can speak for myself, sometimes I get worried and I'm scared that I'm gonna run out of ideas one day. I'm like, oh man, I have so many ideas and I'm executing them all. What if I run out of ideas and I never have a new idea again, and then I'm stale and I'm irrelevant? When you focus on God, the one who gives you your creativity and blesses you with your creativity, I believe that there's no running out of creativity, because he is, like, he's just a God who gives fresh inspiration because of who he is, right? And so, yeah, it's another thing. It's like, you can't stop learning as a creative if you are submitted to the creator, because the creator always has fresh oil to pour out.
Exactly.
Tricia, is there any last words you want to leave with our audience? I think this has been an amazing conversation, and I've personally learned so much. So is there anything else you want to mention?
If you have a piano sitting there, don't let it collect dust.
Ooh!
Learn it.
Ooh! That's good!
I'm just saying, like, I know so many people, I have a piano in my basement. What is it doing in your basement?
Ooh.
That's my question. Turn it on. Learn something.
Dust it off and learn something.
Yeah.
And that goes for anyone. Do you have a sketchbook that you haven't touched in months or years that's collecting dust? Dust it off and get started. You talk to me all the time. My guitar is in the corner of my room. When did I last touch it? You always ask me, have you touched your guitar yet? Have you touched your guitar yet? So it's just a matter of being committed to that thing. Don't let it go to waste. There's so much more on the other side when we commit to the creativity that God's blessed us with. Tricia, thank you so much for being a phenomenal guest. This has been an amazing conversation.